All right, the Kings, a 3-point deficit at halftime, trailing to the Lakers 56-53. Ryan in Sacktown with you, joined by the one and only Jerry Reynolds. Jerry, slow start for the Kings again in this one, but they picked it up there in the second quarter.
Yeah, it really did. I thought, Keon Ellis was a real key. I thought really provided a spark, and the Kings' defense this first half is much better than the first half of the previous Laker game. And of course, I think the Lakers are playing a little better defense, but they're right there. It's just a matter of they're going to have to get some production out of DeRozan. He has really struggled, and but Fox has just been magnificent here in the first half.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox has it going for sure. Jerry, how do you get Fox even more involved in this offense in the second half?
Yeah, I do think that they really want to probably ought to get him involved in some more high screen and rolls. Obviously, he can beat people off the dribble, but I mean, if you really want to get him a field goal attempt or involved in the offense every time, that'd be one way to do it. Get the defenders, get some kind of switching involved, and so yeah, he definitely needs to go find more shots for himself.
Yeah, very efficient. 6 of 7 there in the first quarter or first half for 17 points. Jerry, this LeBron James guy, where's number 23? Not sure if you've seen him before. I think he's here to stay.
Oh boy, there's just never been anybody like him. I mean, here he
Yeah.
is, about 40 years old, and he's still, as we talked for coming on air. I mean, he clearly still one of the 10 best players in the world, and he's lost some quickness and speed, but strength wise, he is stronger than ever. And the Kings really are fortunate because Anthony Davis has been a no show so far. So that's a worry, by the way, because I mean, as good as LeBron's been, the Kings know they got to slow him down, which they maybe can, but they're going to have to double him every chance they get. But then maybe that allows opportunities for Davis. So hey, it's we got a ball game, and if anybody can kind of pull the Kings through, probably Fox is the guy.
Yeah, first night of a back-to-back. You got Indiana coming in here tomorrow, also at 3 o'clock. Jerry, the starters for the second game in a row have started slow, and I feel this third quarter is going to be an absolute key to the Kings winning this game. What can they do to change this pace here in the third quarter?
Well, I think the more you pick up the ball, I mean, you want a fast pace against the Lakers. I mean, that the Lakers are better probably in the half court than are the Kings, and so the faster the pace, the more you're in transition. Obviously, James is as great as he is. He's got some old legs, and
Yeah.
I think you really got to try to wear those guys down. And then also, Davis isn't effective if you're really changing ends of the floor because he can't protect the basket.
It's a great point. The Kings sprayed the ball a little bit more there in the first half
Mhm.
than they did in the second half. Bench unit looked good. The return of Trey Lyles, Jerry, how did he look to you in his first run?
It looked like a rusty guy. I mean,
Yeah.
he was out there trying and all, but yeah, he looked like he's still trying to get his game legs under him, and that probably was to be expected. You hope for more, and probably the Kings bench overall gave probably played the Laker bench even, but you just hope you can get a little bit more out of Lyles and say Herter here in the second half. I mean, like say Keon was really good.
Keon's been excellent. He has been just one of those pesky defenders right now against the Lakers. And really, he's been the guy that's picked up the pace for this team defensively, turning it into offense.
Yeah, the Lakers, as we've seen, I mean, with good pressure, they'll turn it over. But you've got to put good pressure on them, and of course, and I think the key really is to really get into Reeves and D'Angelo Russell and those guys you can, and really the Kings. I thought the last game, I mean, they didn't win the battle of the guards, and they've got to.
Right.
And they really have to win the battle of the guards to win the game because the Lakers do have the advantage up front.
That was something we talked about on the post-game show. Between Fox and Monk last game, they had 9 turnovers. Reeves and Christie, only 1.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. Obviously, you expect a good turnover ratio between those two guys. I mean, you'd like to think you're going to get probably 12, 13 assists and about 4 turnovers, and if the Kings can, if those two guys can perform at that level and just shoot a reasonable percentage, the Kings will have a great chance to win.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here with us. By the way, on If You Don't Like That, the halftime show will be back after the game. Grant will be joining myself, and we will take your calls, hopefully, talking about a Kings victory. We're going to ask for your final scores here in a few minutes, and we'll get Jerry's keys to the second half. But I do want to take a moment, way too soon, the passing of Rickey
Boy.
Henderson, Jerry, 65 years old. Thoughts on Rickey and what he meant to Northern California?
Well, an all-time great. I mean, obviously the best leadoff hitter in the history of baseball. A really a creative player. Of all-time steals, everything. A true winner. And I just thought brought a lot of fun to the game. The
Yeah.
guy just truthfully, I mean, I don't know how else. He enjoyed being great and didn't mind reminding you. And I thought it was well, he's fun to watch. I mean, if you couldn't enjoy watching Rickey Henderson and appreciate his greatness, you didn't know what you're watching.
I don't know that I've ever seen quads like that on an athlete.
Boy, he could have been a running back, couldn't he?
I'll
I
tell
mean,
you
you
what.
tell me what. I mean, it's like Saquon Barkley or something. If you
Yes.
just handed to him, I think, yeah, he's one of those athletes that probably could have found a way to be awfully good in a lot of sports.
Yeah, he backed up that talk though with his game, and talk about somebody that loved the sport. He kept playing and playing for the love of it.
Yeah, obviously kept his body in great shape. He looked like he was 25 when he was 35 or 40. I mean but yeah, just a great competitor, and he's one of those guys that if you can do it, it ain't bragging.
Amen. Amen. Gone way too soon. Rickey Henderson at the age of 65. Kings trailing this one 56-53 at the half. Second game with the Lakers in 3 days. Kings back on the court tomorrow afternoon. Another 3 o'clock start. Jerry, what do you see as the couple of the keys here for the second half?
Well, I think it's going to be kind of more of the same. Try to pick up quicker, pressure the ball off these guards. Really put some pressure so they can't find Davis and James easily at all. And then of course, like I say, run the floor. That's your advantage. You're faster. You are smaller, so you need to be faster and get out and try to beat them in transition. But ball pressure and run. A little bit of chaos will be good.
Chaos will be good. Are you worried at all about D'Angelo Russell and Gabe Vincent? Both of those guys knocking a couple shots down off the bench.
Yeah, I think you have to be, especially D'Angelo. I mean, Gabe's been awfully good against the Kings here, certainly the last game. But I mean, D'Angelo's one of those guys that's done it in his career, and you let him get shots, and that's always the key with him. He's not a great creator, and he's not that tough a guy. But if you want to give him open shots and let him get going, he can beat you. And we as Kings fans have seen that on many occasions. So get up into him, challenge him.
Yeah, Malik Monk, Jerry, only 5 points here in the first half, 18 minutes, 2 of 9. And also DeMar DeRozan to a degree. How do you get those guys going? Because the Kings are going to need them to win this game.
Yeah, absolutely, you do, and I think in both cases they've both taken 2 or 3 really tough shots that would have been better off turning them down. So I think with both guys, let's just get selective, get some work hard to get good shots. Don't feel like you got to hunt them, and then get a couple of easy shots to go down, and it'll take care of itself. But just don't go hunting shots as much, because I thought both guys really forced a couple.
Yeah, and they'll need to get as much as they can here in this second half. Kings they outscored the Lakers in the second quarter, but a 5 point deficit in the first quarter. All right, Jer, which way you going? Kings, Lakers, what's your final score?
Kings 109, Lakers 106, and I'm kind of counting on we'll have a game winner from
Okay.
Fox or Monk. I'm just not sure which. I'm trying to beam it in here, but because let's face it, Ryan, both of us need a little beam tonight.
We need some beam. And Jerry,
I'm needing beam. I'm needing beam.
We get to see the beam early too. That means we get
Yeah.
to enjoy it for a few more hours than we
Yeah,
normally do.
exactly. So I can watch some beam, and then I can focus on a little college football this evening. Can't have it better than that.
Yeah, it's a great sports today. What have you been watching today?
Well, of course, my Chiefs won in football, and then of course a couple of the other college games just weren't games, so I didn't watch too much of them. But I'm really counting on the Ohio State Tennessee game being a good game.
That Patrick Mahomes guy, is he human?
I'm not sure that he is. He's a special one, isn't he? I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, the guy trots himself out there with injuries, and he plays just as good as when he's totally healthy. But that's what the great ones do. And the NFL's a fun, just like the NBA. There's a lot of parity, and and the injuries are such a key, of course, in NBA, but especially the NFL. You better be going into the playoffs healthy. And right now, the Chiefs kind of are, but they haven't been all year, but they sort of are. But then again, the playoffs don't start yet. So
one receiver goes down and another rookie just steps up.
That's insane. The old next man up there is truly the thing in the NFL. I mean, it is NBA to a degree, but certainly that sport, you better have a whole bunch of backups because you're going to need them.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, Jerry, thank you so much for joining us as you always do at halftime. We really appreciate it, buddy.
Well, you and Grant, beam. We need beam.
We will do our best.
I have been beamless too long.
I know. We're getting kind of pale. We need some purple shade.
Oh, we do.
Oh man, Jerry, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Jerry Reynolds joining us here at the half. All right, we are going to be back. Grant will be back with us here post game. We'll be talking about this one. Hopefully, we are talking about a Kings victory. Some very different play between the first half and the first quarter and the second quarter. Some bad stretches, but all in all, the Kings hanging in there, down 3 at halftime. Also, will be hitting everything else that's going on off the court in regards to personnel, De'Aaron Fox, etc. But make sure you join us right back here as soon as the game ends on If You Don't Like That. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Give us a thumbs up. Grant and I will wrap up the night for you here in 24 minutes after the Kings and the Lakers play the second half. Jerry has the Kings winning with a game winner by Monk or Fox. We'll see. They need this split desperately. Remember, game tomorrow as well against Indiana. So Kings-Lakers coming at you second half. See you right after the game, right back here on If You Don't Like That.